tell us about your new book, The Synergy Solution. Tell us what that book is about.
Well, the synergy solution is a rather, as we say it, it's a rather heavy bookend to the synergy trap. But it's after 25 years of experience, and with Jeff Wyron's my co-author, between the two of us, we have 50 years of experience. I mean, it sounds like a line, but we do. We have, I've worked on hundreds of deals. Jeff's worked on some of the most iconic transactions. And it's essentially, what have we learned over the years that address how you solve this problem? And I think what's very unique about the book, and it's not as if there haven't been M&A books before. There's lots of M&A books, hundreds, thousands of articles on M&A, is we really focused on the connections, because it's a very connected problem. Just my journey as a student, looking at the different literatures, you could just start to see those connections. And so if I describe it at a high level, it's the connections, it's the end-to-end connections along the M&A experience. It is an experience. M&A is an end-to-end experience. And it starts with M&A strategy and through diligence and valuation, announcement day, which is I think one of the crown jewels of the book, and then sign to close planning and post-close execution. But I think if I were to sort of summarize what holds the book together, there are 5 major themes. The first one, which we've talked about, M&A is a different capital investment, and that transcends the book. Second is that you have to know what you want and why and how you're going to create value. And that's a theme that starts with M&A strategy, and you'll feel it all throughout the book. The next one is you have to understand the promises you're making for the reasons I've said, and what exactly are those promises? And so when you do a DCF, that's great, you may come up with this value, but what is it? Let's flip it on its side and take a little bit different approach to sanity check the DCF. And then what are the connections that have to be made across stakeholders? How are you going to communicate? And again, communication start right from the very beginning. And then, of course, how are you going to deliver on those promises? What are the structures and governance and cadence and et cetera that you need to have in place so that you actually deliver on the promises? And one of the themes in M&A, once a deal hits the table, time is not on your side. The time you have time is when you're figuring out what you want, understanding your markets, talking to customers, and and so on. But once a deal hits the table, time's not on your side, and a lot of companies waste a lot of time before they announce a deal and immediately after they do.
Can you give us an example of that?
What does it feel like?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, if you're a sort of stereotypical reactor company, a deal hits the table, you scramble a team, you say, yeah, that's sort of, we had a lot of ideas for growth. Yeah, that's sort of consistent with something that we had in mind. Our competitors are doing deals. We're being approached by bankers that we have to do something or we're going to be left without a dancing partner. So you spin up a team. You've got 3 weeks to do the valuations, the diligence, although the valuations will, in many cases, have been done for you. So you've got to test the assumptions that are in those valuations. And you reach an agreement. You announce the deal shortly thereafter. You hope, that's the zenith of attention a deal's going to get. And then they wait to start doing sign to close planning. And that deal is likely to close 2 months, 3 months. Maybe if it has some regulatory issues, it could be slightly longer. But you don't have a lot of time before that deal closes to start delivering on those promises. And you can see the connections. You can see how those connections start falling into place. So at a high level, that's what the book's about. And it's a lot of nuance throughout.